Mombasa, where the CS Treasury is set to any moment from now open a two-day workshop for the Senate County Public Accounts and Investment Committee and 47 chairpersons of Public Accounts Committee of the county assemblies. That is something that is going to happen in Mombasa. And let's get some update from our reporter Francis Mtalaki there. Francis, good morning.
Good morning, Yusuf. And the workshop is yet to begin here, but any moment from now, the CS for Treasury, Henry Rotich, will be opening a two-day conference together with the Senate Public Accounts Committee and the 47 chairpersons from the Accounts Committee at the county level. But I want to bring in the chairperson of the Senate Committee, Honorable Moses Kajwang, so that they can be able to speak with regard to this workshop today. Tell us about this workshop, what Kenyans should expect.
Thank you. This morning we are meeting the chairs of the 47 county public accounts committees from all over Kenya. This is a joint meeting between the Senate and the county assemblies. The national government is also involved. The CS Treasury will be with us. Other independent institutions are also involved. The Auditor General is with us. The Control of Budgets is with us, and the Commission on Revenue Allocation. The key objective of this conference is to find ways of making oversight effective. We've sent more than 1 trillion shillings to the counties in the last 4 or 5 years. But there's been concern that when the money goes to the counties, it is used in a manner that is not accountable. We want to clearly define what our role is as Senate, what the role of county assemblies is, what the role of the National Assembly is, and what the role of the national government is as far as oversight is concerned. There have been overlaps. Those overlaps have been attributed to the newness of our constitution and the newness of the laws that we've been using. But frankly speaking, I think we've had enough time for us now to have clear ideas on what should be the role of Senate in oversight, what should be the role of the county assembly in oversight, so that we avoid the kind of battles we have seen in the past, where county assemblies and Senate are pursuing the same matter at the same time and calling the same governors to appear before them at the same time. That is a kind of confusion we want to clear through this conference.
You said a trillion sent to the counties, but we still have some pending bills, especially for the suppliers. This has been an issue at the county level. As a committee, what are you doing?
And the issue of pending bills is partly attributed to ineffective oversight at the counties. The Controller of Budgets will be with us today, and she will tell us that before any order is given for someone to do a public job, there has to be a confirmation that there's a budget and there are funds for it. And we want to query what then happens once the Control of Budget has made approvals for monies to be released. Why is it that people are not getting paid those monies? The second leg of it is on the performance of locally generated revenue. A lot of counties do their budgets and planning on the assumption that they're going to collect certain amounts of money from taxes, business permits, etc. This is an area that has also not been oversighted properly. You'd find that governors or county executives collect money from markets, from rates, and that money is used at source. So if we tighten oversight, we will be sure that when revenues are collected locally, they are deployed for the right purposes, and it will reduce the instances of pending bills. The Treasury will also have to tell us why is it that they keep delaying disbursements to the counties. And that is a role where Senate must also play a much more active role, because oversight of Senate is not just on county governments. We must also oversight the national government and ensure that they live up to the obligations that have been defined for them in the relevant laws, the Division of Revenue Bill, the County Allocation of Revenue Act. The National Treasury has got no option but to disburse funds to counties at the right time. So for me, those three aspects, timely disbursements, management of locally generated revenues, and control of or oversight through the Controller of Budget. I believe in the next 2 days we'll come up with good resolutions.
Lastly, in terms of the Auditor General and the queries that have been raised before, we've seen some of the governors are opposed to this issue of being called by the Senate and with regard to your committee. What do you expect moving forward in terms of the governors and edit queries that have been raised by the Auditor General?
First of all, I believe that a governor who's doing a faithful job and who has public interest would not have any reservations about appearing before Parliament or County Assembly to explain how he has utilized public funds. Already we have had a conversation with the Makueni governor, Professor Kivutha Kibwana. He appeared before us as a Senate, and we spent a whole day just looking at the financial performance of Makueni County. And I want to encourage the other governors to follow suit. In the last Parliament, some governors even went to court to avoid coming before Senate. Thankfully, the court ruled that governors are CEOs of counties. They might not be accounting officers, but as CEOs, they've got a responsibility to account for the funds that they receive. There has been a problem, and that is one problem I want us to resolve in this conference, that there are too many reports generated by the Auditor General. For each county, the Auditor General generates about 10 reports. One is a report on the county executive, a report on the county assembly, a report on the mortgage fund, a report on the Kalon fund, a report on special funds, and some counties have got water companies, some counties have established bursary funds, some counties have established youth and women funds. So on average, the Auditor General generates about 10 reports per county. All these reports come to Senate and they go to the county assemblies. We want to define what should come to Senate and what should be dealt with at the county assembly. That way, we will not subject governors to answering to 10 different reports in 2 different fora. So yes, they've had some argument in the sense that they don't have to respond to all the issues raised in the 10 different reports. I want us to agree with county assemblies that there are certain reports, especially on funds, that can be dealt with at the counties. And then Senate could look at a consolidated report of the county government and could also look at performance audits and value for money audits. The specific audits for funds, the specific audits for corporations, we must empower county assemblies to deal with them so that governors deal with those matters at the county level. And when they come to the Senate, they are dealing with consolidated issues, they're dealing with value for money issues.
And also, for the case of Makueni, probably, one would ask, maybe how has this improved the relationship in terms of the counties and the Senate, and also making sure that the funds that are sent at the county level have been utilized well?
When we have a conversation with a governor, similar to the one we had with Professor Kivutha Kibwana, we are able to unlock certain issues as far as legislation is concerned, as far as policy is concerned, that could be affecting performance at the county. For example, the Auditor General, in his report, said that Makueni County was not complying with the requirement on employment, that 99% of employees in Makueni County were from the local community. We have a law that says that at least 30% should come from outside. When we look at some of these laws and the manner in which counties are supposed to behave to comply, you realize that there's a problem with the law. And so, as an example, as you asked, how does this help? We resolved with the governor for Makueni that it is necessary to seek and pursue certain amendments that would make it possible for county government employees to be transferred across different counties. Because as it is, you've got 47 different counties, and once you are employed in a county, you're almost stuck there. You're in that container for the rest of your life. You cannot move to the next container. When we have these conversations, we are able to unlock some legal policy issues that would be affecting counties. And that's why I want to appeal to the governors and to the county executives. When you come before Senate, you are not coming to a grilling chamber. You are not coming to a torture chamber. You're coming to a house where there are a lot of adults in the room, where there's a lot of experience involved, and will be able to come up with ways that would ensure that you've got all the tools necessary to run your counties. Remember that the role of Senate is to defend and represent the interest of counties and their governments. And that is the intention of that conversation we want to have with governors when we invite them to Nairobi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, Yusuf, that was the Senator for Homa Bay, and also the chair of this committee, which is holding this two-day workshop happening here in Mombasa. And any moment from now, the CS Henry Rotich will be coming here so that he can be officially open this workshop that is meant to improve services at the county level. Yusuf.
Thank you very much, Francis, for that. Of course, we're going to link up with you once the CS Treasury arrives there any moment from now, as is rightly put it. And remember,